Slay the Spire. Everybody loves it. People call it a masterpiece. But if you've never played a deck building roguelike game before, that title of masterpiece sounds a bit iffy, a bit heavy. Why do people call it a masterpiece? And what is this deck building roguelike thing all about? Well, whether we are talking about the original game or the new Slay the Spire 2, the series is actually the perfect match for a busy adult. It completely respects your time. So tonight, let's look at why it's so good for us and why it might be the perfect game for your evening slot. To get why it works, you have to look at the two styles of games it mixes together. Well, Slay the Spire is a roguelike deck building game. So first, let's look at the roguelike part. The rule here is simple. In roguelikes, you die, you're done. Total reset, right back to the start. And that's how you play those games. Usually, that's a bit too brutal for the average punter. So even though roguelikes has gained massive popularity over the years, they still do remain fundamentally niche. And next, you've got deck builders, card games where you collect cards and build your deck to play against your opponent. And usually, these require way too much reading and studying the cards. Neither genre sounds mainstream, but Slay the Spire mashed them together and it just clicked. The loop is so clean. You pick one character class, you look at the map of branching paths, you've got normal fights, elite fights, chops, and random events. You pick your route, control your risks, and try to reach the boss at the very top. If you win, awesome. If you cop it halfway up, you lose the lot and start fresh. It's brutal and yet brilliant. Traditional card games have one massive problem, the learning curve. Usually, you have to study hundreds if not thousands of cards just to build a deck that actually works. It's a real chore, I'm telling you. Most people just give up. That's why I, who loved playing Hearthstone when it first came out for about 6 months, are now finding it so tough to get back to. Because over so many years, the developers have added literally hundreds of cards and introduced, tens of new mechanics and all these different combos. Just too many systems to learn. It's just too much for my brain. I also tried Yu-Gi-Oh back in the day. Or is it Yu-Gi-Oh? Whatever. Man, there were just too many cards. In the end, I just ended up copying a deck online. And when I was playing that deck, I was just focusing entirely on my own hand and my side of the playboard. And I didn't even look at what the other bloke was playing because my brain had more than enough just looking at my own cards. It was a proper head scratch. We don't have time for that type of gaming after work, right? Well, Slay the Spire, even though it's a card deck building game, fixes this problem. You start to run with almost nothing. Just a few basic attack cards and a few basic defense cards, that's it. It's not like Hearthstone where you have to build a deck before you play. Here, you have no clue what cards you're gonna get. You just make the best choice on the fly, one at a time, and you just keep climbing. And here's how the game tricks you into becoming an expert without you even realizing it. Every time you win a fight, it offers you a reward. Usually, it's pick one of the 3 cards. Since you already know your basic deck inside out, because it's easy because you just have a handful of cards and most of them are just attack for how many points and defend for how many points. Then you look at the 3 choices in front of you and go, okay, right, this one fits nicely with what I've got, so I'm just gonna go for that one. And then you add it to your deck. Now your deck is slightly bigger just by 1 card, and you know exactly how it works because you've just studied that 1 card. And you can sort of figure out how you're gonna combo with that card. You only ever learn 1 card at a time like this, so there's no real homework vibe at all. You continue doing so, you climb up, and then once you hit the wall and die, those cards vanish. You don't get to keep your deck, back to square one. But here's the trick. You've just learned a few cards, so When you start a fresh run, it doesn't really matter if the new choices that you're gonna get are totally different. You just do the same. You just look at the screen, pick whatever looks the business for you at the time, or your deck at the time, and go down a completely different path. Just changing one early card shifts your whole direction, your whole strategy for that run. And then the next run is again gonna be different. So each run gives you a unique experience, and each run just lets you learn just a little bit more at a time, you know? In your first run, you may have learned 5 cards. On your second, maybe 6. On your third, maybe 3. And as your knowledge builds up, your understanding of the game gradually increases. So the game doesn't hit you with this massive learning curve right at the beginning. It just eases you in. And the learning curve is very smooth. And because it's randomized, every run feels fresh. So even though you're just continuously learning, it doesn't feel like chore. You're learning consistently, but your game, your each run can be very different. Sometimes nothing syncs up and it's a struggle for you. Other times, you might pull an absolute god tier combo and breeze through. And that's the secret sauce, should I even say this, broken balance. In multiplayer games, or in games like Hearthstone or Yu-Gi-Oh!, the devs have to nerf powerful stuff to keep it fair. The balancing act is something that, between the devs and the players, they would always struggle with. But since Slay the Spire is a solo game, and it's a roguelike game, basically meaning that you lose your deck at the end anyway, the devs can let you become insanely powerful in one run and really poor in the next run, and it wouldn't matter in the grand scheme of things. Finding a combo that completely breaks the game feels amazing, and it's an instant gratification. Now, I'm not saying that I'm condoning, the devs just putting in like broken cards in there. I'm just saying that they have a little bit more leeway in terms of balancing their cards, and they can be a little bit more creative, because at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter as much as in other types of games. And honestly, that loop is why people are still hooked years later, and why everyone is buzzing for Slay the Spire 2. Because if you think about it, the card pool is finite. They are not live service games. They are not, the devs are not constantly adding new cards. And honestly, the best part for us, busy adults, is how it fits into a busy lifestyle. There's no continuous pressure to learn new things. It's a completely turn-based, no real-time stress. You can put the mouse down for a drink, stretch your legs, and come back. The game waits for you, and each run is its own run, and a full run takes about 45 minutes, win or lose. You get a complete story in one sitting, basically. No trying to remember what you were doing in a massive open world 3 days ago. The next time you come back to it, you just start a fresh new run. There are no daily login traps or anything like that. No battle passes, no fluff. Just pure, clean gameplay. It's a genuine sanctuary for your mind at the end of the day. So, I love the game. I think it really fits us busy adult lifestyle very well. And I want to know where you stand on this one. If you're a veteran of the series, do you have favorite combos? Do you prefer any class over others? And if you haven't tried one or two yet, what's holding you back? Let me know in the comments. If you like this video and want to keep your evening gaming relaxed, hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching, enjoy your evening, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.